Everybody, I hope all is well. This is me, Chris, with That Square Sports Podcast. And of course, obviously, the month is narrowing down. The NFL schedules have been released. So, of course, I will speed up the process more on these NFL draft grades and kind of dive into every single team's schedule. Probably do that more so June when it comes up because I do want to finish this little series out myself. But with that being said, thanks for tuning in. Let's talk about the Miami Dolphins draft grades. Let's get it. I think we're going to break this down in so many sectors. We're going to take it to the fact that it was needs versus wants, and also, of course, what they addressed, what they didn't address. That's how the grade rubric's going to go. Number one for me, their biggest need was offensive line. Number two was, of course, linebacker, edge rusher, however they want to put it. And then, of course, after that, the third thing was wide receiver. Yes, the inconsistency of Jalen Waddle, and of course Cedric Wilson when he is there. I don't know if he stayed or not, but Jalen Waddle just never being 100% the opposite side of Tyreek Hill, the kind of vision that they had for him doesn't seem to really pan out so far. It still can. It's just one of those things where I'm just like, well, until that happens, why not go ahead and draft somebody else that can kind of step in for the time being? That's kind of my thing. So let's just dive into the draft. Let's get it. Obviously, first of all, looking at it, pick number 21, Chop Robinson. Okay, I really love Chop Robinson. I think the offensive lineman that they wanted at the time in the draft got drafted early and pretty much kind of threw a wrench in the game for him. So them drafting Chop, okay, respectfully, Chop is a nice pick. I do believe that offensive line was their biggest need first, but I'm not too mad about this pick because to me, that was the best available situational player that they could get at the time. So I'm okay with Chop Robinson being here. Patrick Paul out of Houston. Okay, this was a head scratcher for me. He has the size of a tackle, everything, arms, the dream. It's just the consistency of playing tackle. That's the hard part, right? So he's more of a project player, and picking a project player in 55, and you didn't really address all of your needs yet. And of course, obviously, the Dolphins also the Chiefs in the playoffs. Due to poor offensive line play and playing in the cold, I will say that played a huge factor. But it's just one of those things where I'm just like, I'm not in love with it because I think that he still probably could have been on the board. However, I will say this. Due to the fact that the Texans did pick ahead of the Dolphins getting Blake Fisher, might have thrown a wrench in the game of who they got at tackle. I do believe that. That might have helped them out. So I'm not in love with this pick, but I understand the pick. Jalen Wright out of Tennessee, nice. I didn't think that they needed a running back. Obviously, they have so many fast running backs with Devon Achane, Raheem Mostert. But Jalen Wright is another speedster back. Definitely misused at Tennessee, 100% misused. I think the fact that he really took off towards his last year, not so much this year. That's why his stock fell. But I will respectfully say this about this decision in this pick. Y'all knew what y'all were doing, and I feel like he's going to be utilizing this offense. Not this year, but maybe next year. It depends kind of how they want to do it, kind of ease into it. It could be, obviously, too, on top of that, contract, money stuff, all that other thing kind of factors in because I really do like Jalen Wright right here out of Tennessee at running back. Colorado State's linebacker, Muhammad Kamari, yes. Now, you know what's crazy about him? Him and Chop are the same position. They both can put their hand in the dirt and get busy. I really think that this guy was underrated because of his size, but at the same time, he can move. Man, I hate to say this. I hate to allude to this because the defense was so bad in that game. The Colorado versus Colorado State game, Air Force game, Wyoming game, those are the games where you're going to see him at his best right there. Just pretty much those are the games right there that I kind of was like, okay, you know what? This guy knows what he's doing. So I will give credit where credit is due. I will say thumbs up on that. Malik Washington out of the University of Virginia. Definitely misused, poor quarterback play. Receiver has the potential to be good, as most receivers. Not so much of an effective route runner. Not dangerous. But I will say this, in that offense, they kind of got to find a third guy to throw the ball to. I think that if Jalen Waddle does come back, like I was saying in the beginning of the video, 100%, maybe you might not have to expect much from Malik Washington. Malik Washington. All right, out of Cal, Patrick McMorrison, defensive back. I actually know a lot about this player. I watched him in the USC game, and that was a high-scoring game. But I will give credit where credit is due. He did his job on, of course, the person that is actually now his new teammate. And it's funny because we're going to talk about both of them in the same light. Tajay Washington and, of course, Patrick McMorrison Both battled each other, obviously, in college. Tajay got the best of him, obviously, and we'll break down why here in a second. But I will add this. This is what I will say. Patrick McMorrison is a great, solid number 3 to 2 corner tier right then and there. Don't expect him to come in and be like a Jalen Ramsey or a Patrick Peterson type. He's going to be a solid 2, and that's kind of be his career. That's pretty much going to be who he's going to be. And if he has to step up and be one, I think he can do that. But I just know for a fact that mostly his career is going to be pretty much that. Tajay Washington. I ain't going to lie to you. This mother... I can't say the can I say the F word on YouTube anymore? No, I don't think you can. I don't know. I think once you get big enough, you can't say it anymore. But I will say this respectfully. Dude, Tajay Washington is extremely fast. He's like Tyreek Hill fast, and he gets so quick up the field. It's scary. So having 2 Tyreek Hills on your roster, a younger version, and of course, Tyreek Hill's obviously a threat. But him, man, this dude, he fits McDaniel's offense perfect. He fits it perfect. And I'm surprised that the Rams didn't take it. He kind of fell this far in the draft. And like I've been saying, obviously in my pre-draft videos as well, guys, there was a lot of offensive talent in this draft. Of course, exceptionally people who transition from running back to receiver just so they can get more time on the field, especially due to this portal. A lot of 7-on-7 and due to non-tackling. This is going to be even funner to watch. I'm not going to lie. Washington is a steal at pick in the 7th round at pick 241. So let's go ahead and break it down. Grade rubric. Obviously, they took care of the linebacker. They took care of the edge rusher. And, of course, the tackle. And wide receiver. So they did what they needed to do in all 4 areas. I don't like how they took the tackle over the edge rusher, but I also will say this, due to how the draft fell, I think that the edge rusher / linebacker will fit their scheme perfectly fine. That's just me, but in respect to the decision, it doesn't really knock a grade completely down, but I will say that the tackle is a project player. So therefore, I will fall in the B+ range. I actually will go ahead and follow in what they said on this one. So Dolphin fans, you guys got a B+ for me. Fins up. I like that. Take care. Oh, and by the way, if you have any comments or concerns, come on, add me in the comments. I love talking back to y'all. Peace.